Yo, Celtics Nation, you ready for some jaw-dropping updates? Buckle up because we're diving into the chaos swirling around the Boston Celtics, and it's gonna hit you like a fast break. The season's over, but the drama's just heating up. Is our future still green, or are we staring at a rebuild? We've got 4 sizzling stories packed with twists that'll ignite your love for this team. So grab a seat, smash that like button, subscribe, and let's jump into this roller coaster of suspense. Which of these bombshells is gonna leave? You speechless? Celtics Nation is still reeling from the gut punch of our Eastern Conference semifinals exit. Getting crushed by the New York Knicks 1981 in Game 6 felt like a dagger to our green heart. We were dreaming of repeating the 2024 championship, but instead we watched our squad crumble without Jason Tatum, sidelined by a brutal Achilles injury in Game 4. So what's next? Let's break down this disaster and figure out what's at stake. The game itself was a nightmare. The Knicks owned us from tip-off, with a smothering defense that turned our signature three-point shooting into a total bust. Even with Jaylen Brown battling, dropping 20 points before getting ejected for fouls in the third, we couldn't keep up. The TD Garden crowd went silent, and on X, fans were losing it. How did we let this happen? They screamed. Truth is, without Tatum, our offense lost its spark, and our defense couldn't stop the Knicks' onslaught. The fallout goes way beyond the court. This early exit, after a regular season where we smashed the record for three-pointers made with 1,457, is a glaring red flag. We went all in to keep the championship roster, despite a $231 million payroll that could balloon to nearly $500 million with luxury tax penalties. That's unsustainable. The front office now faces a brutal choice. How do you rebuild without gutting what worked? Tatum's injury, which could keep him out for most of next season, only makes it messier. Strategically, this loss exposed our weaknesses. We leaned too hard on Tatum and those long-range bombs, which tanked to 30% or worse in 3 of our 4 losses to the Knicks. Fans are split. Some are blasting Joe Mazzulla for not adjusting, while others say we had no plan B without our star. One fan on X summed it up. Without Tatum, we're just average. Can you argue with that? This collapse could force major moves this offseason and the pressures on the front office. That brings us to the next bombshell. The financial and strategic stakes are massive. With new management looking to slash costs below the $207 million second apron, big names might be on the chopping block. And hold up, because what's brewing behind the scenes is gonna blow your mind even more. While we're still processing the Knicks beatdown, Jaylen Brown's post-Game 6 comments are ringing like an alarm in Celtics Nation. Losing to the Knicks feels like death, he said in the presser. His words heavy enough to silence the room. The guy gave it his all, but without Tatum, and after getting ejected for fouls in the third, the team fell apart. What's this reveal about the locker room? Is the Celtics soul shaken? Let's dig into this emotional gut punch and what it means for our future. Brown, who was a hero in Game 5 with a monster performance, couldn't carry the load alone. He put up 20 points before his ejection, but the rest of the squad couldn't keep up. Our three-point shooting, which led the league with 1,457 makes, plummeted to under 30% in 3 losses to the Knicks. On X, fans are torn. Some say Brown played with heart, others knock him for not stepping up as a leader without Tatum. He's our guy, but he can't do it solo, one fan posted. So is his outburst just frustration or a sign of deeper cracks? Tactically, this series showed how much we rely on Tatum. After his Achilles injury in Game 4, our offense lost its rhythm. Brown tried, but the Knicks defense ate us alive. Mazzulla's getting heat for sticking to a 3-point heavy game plan that wasn't falling. X is buzzing. Where's the coach's creativity? Our regular season was a masterpiece, with a 36.8% 3-point clip, but in the playoffs, without our star, we became predictable. The mental toll is huge. Brown, always the gritty warrior, dropped a quote that shows how much this loss stung. Is the locker room fractured? The chemistry that fueled our 2024 title feels shaky, and with a $231 million payroll looming, the offseason is going to be intense. Fans are worried. If Brown's this rattled, what happens without Tatum next season? His words are a wake-up call for the front office to rethink strategy and boost the team's mental toughness. Speaking of changes, what's coming next is going to shake us even more. Big names could be on the move, and the roster's future is up in the air. The Knicks loss was already a body blow, but now Celtics Nation is bracing for an earthquake. We might lose key pieces of our roster. With a $231 million payroll that could skyrocket to $500 million with luxury tax, the new management is under pressure to cut costs and stay below the $207 million second apron. That means names like Drew Holiday, Sam Hauser, and Kristaps Porzingis could be packing their bags. Who's out the door? Let's unpack this bombshell and what it means for our green soul. First up, Drew Holiday. The guy's a defensive rock and a team play machine, but at 34, with 3 years left on a $134 million deal, he's a trade target. On X, fans are freaking out. Trading Drew! That's insanity! With Tatum sidelined, the front office isn't touching Jaylen Brown or Derek White, so Holiday might be the odd man out to ease the financial strain. His trade value isn't sky high, but contenders still see him as a veteran gem. Can we handle losing that leadership? Next, Sam Hauser. Our sharpshooter's on the hot seat because keeping him could cost $90 million with taxes. Meanwhile, rookie Bayless Shireman's shown he could step into Hauser's role with more versatility. On X, one fan posted, "Hauser's clutch, but Shireman's the future." Hauser's $45 million 4-year deal is appealing to other teams, but for us it's a burden. Is it worth paying big for a bench guy when we've got a cheaper option? And then there's Kristaps Porzingis, the unicorn who brought balance to our defense and offense is in trouble after a weak postseason, averaging just 7.7 points and 31.6% shooting. Injuries and a mysterious illness didn't help. And with his $30 million contract expiring, he's a trade candidate. Porzingis chokes in the playoffs, one fan vented on X. But will another team bet on his upside? The front office is in a bind. Trade him now or roll the dice for another year. These moves could reshape the Celtics. With Tatum out, we need a plan to stay competitive. But what's next is going to make you rethink everything you know about this team's future. The dust from the Knicks loss hasn't even settled, and Celtics Nation is already looking at an off-season where our team's fate hangs in the balance. With Jason Tatum likely out for most of next season due to his Achilles injury, and a luxury tax bill that could hit $500 million, the front office is at a crossroads. Two roster names are in the spotlight, Al Horford and Luke Kornet. Will they stay or go? Let's break down the future of our free agents and what it means for the squad. Al Horford, our 39-year-old warrior, is in a tough spot. Before Tatum's injury, he was vocal about wanting to stay in Boston, where he started 24 of 30 playoff games over the last 2 years, including 15 in our 2024 title run. But with cost cutting on the horizon, new management might not shell out for a veteran. On X, fans are split. Horford's the heart of this team, but can we justify his salary? With 9 points and 6.2 rebounds per game in the regular season, he still delivers, but age is a factor. Will he bolt for another team or hang up his sneakers? On the flip side, Luke Kornet is having a career moment. At 30, the 7-foot 7'2" big man finally found his groove, starring 16 regular season games and shining in Game 5 against the Knicks with 10 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 blocks. He even started Game 6, his first playoff start. On X, one fan raved, "Kornet's the future in the paint." With averages of 6 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 1 block, he's in line for a bigger, maybe multi-year deal. The question is, will the Celtics invest in him or let a breakout star slip away? Strategically, these calls will shape our future. Without Tatum, we need stability, but the financial pressure is brutal. Horford might be cut to ease the payroll, while Kornet, younger and cheaper, feels like a safer bet. But what if another team throws big money at Kornet? Fans are on edge, and for good reason. The offseason will be a trial by fire for the front office, and there's more. The choices coming up are going to flip everything you think you know about the Celtics. Celtics Nation is in the eye of the storm. The Knicks loss, Jaylen Brown's heavy words, the potential exits of Holiday, Hauser, and Porzingis, and the uncertain futures of Horford and Kornet signal an off-season wild ride. With Tatum injured and the luxury tax squeezing us, will the front office nail it or dismantle our championship core? Time to step up, fans. Are these changes the end of the road or the start of a new green era? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's talk about the Celtics' future.